Hey, hello and welcome to another video. Chandresh Kudwa here from theguitarthing.com. Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to practice, so stick around. Alright, so let's assume that you're going to learn a piece of music which is probably 12 bars. Let's say it's a guitar solo, and the first thing everybody does is they start taking that first bit of the solos from the first note. They go on and start learning like the entire solo, the entire 12 bars, and that's exactly what you should not do. What you need to do is cut those pieces or cut that piece into multiple sections and turn them into either exercises or turn them into licks or whatever. But let's say you tackle 2 bars at a time or 3 bars at a time, depending on the complexity of the piece. But don't take on a solo from the first note to the last note and then take the entire thing and then keep practicing the whole thing over and over again. What will happen is the easier parts probably will get done, but the harder parts are going to require a lot more focus, so they'll just kind of feel incomplete, and it wouldn't really get enough time from your end, because your time is going to get equally distributed amongst the easy parts and the hard parts, and you're going to find it extremely difficult to be able to play that solo. And you're probably going to go halfway through the solo and say, you know what, let me change this and learn something else. So yeah, don't take the entire solo as one thing and then start practicing them or learning them like that. Make sure that you're learning bits and pieces, so cutting them into smaller sections and learning those bits as separate licks or exercises. So that's the first thing that you do. Hey guys, just wanted to take a quick moment and tell you all about the books that I've written. I've written 3 books and 3 different courses. Grade 1 deals with acoustic guitar basics and is meant for the absolute beginner. Grade 2 is electric guitar basics, and Grade 3 is electric guitar lessons for the intermediate guitar player. I've got ebook versions and physical copies for sale. So head over to theguitarthing.com or click the link in the cards or the description box below for all the details about the course and how to pick up one copy for yourself. So once you've cut the solo into multiple shorter sections, it's time to now try and attempt any of these. Right? It doesn't matter if you start with the first bit of that piece. Let's say it's a 2-bar thing. Doesn't matter. You could take the 3rd section, 4th section, 5th or 1st, whatever inspires you, whatever draws you to it. You can start off with that and attempt it and work on it till you kind of there, about 50, 60, 70%. And if it's a really hard section, then you may take an easier section along with that, so that you don't kind of feel stagnated. So what you can do is do that hard bit, and then once you get like really tired and let's say you feel like you're not going to reach anywhere anytime soon, you can take the easier section for a change and practice that, and then maybe get that done, and while you're still attempting the hard part, do the second section which is easier. So you're able to mix this up, but at the same time you're not taking the whole thing. You're able to kind of divide enough time between a simple section and a harder section. Harder section obviously will take a lot more time, but you can focus on it enough and give it enough time so that you're able to achieve. Alright, so this next thing I can't emphasize enough. Start off slow. Really slow. A lot of people, I see them doing the mistake of attempting the solo at the same speed that the original one is at, and it's somebody who's trying to learn something new. Is almost going to be impossible for you, unless you're really experienced, to be able to get those nuances that's there in the solo and be able to bring that at the same speed as the original. So slow down sections that you've marked and practice them really slowly, making sure that you're incorporating all the elements, techniques, whatever is required. Like maybe it's a bend, maybe it's a pre-bend, maybe there are vibratos, all of these things. So taking it slow will allow you to kind of focus on these elements, because when you're trying to learn something at the same speed, you may miss out on these elements, and even though you reach the speed that you're supposed to play the solo at, and then you're still able to play that, you may lack feel and all of these good things that are there associated with the solo, because you've not spent enough time, or rather you simply did not register these elements when you were trying to play it as fast. So by slowing it down, you're able to kind of listen to all of these things in detail and try and incorporate them. And yeah, that's really going to kind of work for you in your favor, and your solo is going to sound as good as the original. And yeah, then slowly start increasing speed, making sure that you don't lose those elements as you increase the speed. A lot of time what happens is, when you're playing a piece slow, it's easy to get things done, but as you start increasing the speed, you're not able to keep the same relative tempo of, let's say, whatever it, whether it's a hammer-on pull-off, it's a vibrato, whatever, you're not able to do it. So that gives you an understanding of where work needs to be done. If you're unable to play a certain technique at a slightly faster speed, but you're able to play it slow, that means you need to kind of work on that particular technique and slowly increase speed to a point where you're able to, play it flawlessly as though you were playing it slow. So basic thing is, start off slow, keep all the nuances in mind, and work your way up to speed. A lot of times people play the easier parts and then they forget about the hard part, because obviously it takes so much more effort and time, and you enjoy playing stuff that's easy, so you keep playing the stuff over and over again. Practicing is not about playing stuff that you can play. Practicing is about playing stuff that you cannot play, which is why you need to spend a lot more time playing stuff that you cannot play. Keep in touch with things that are easy, obviously play them, but put in a lot more time and effort into things that you cannot play, and that's when you'll see growth. So keep that in mind, it's really, really important. If you want to be able to play a solo in one take without punching in things, you'll have to really play that solo over and over again. So repetition is key, and you can also do the repetition bit for the tougher sections, the harder sections. Maybe it's a fast lick, it's a shred line, maybe it's a very weird bend, whatever. Just keep practicing again, slowly make that into a separate section. Start off playing slow and then keep repeating and repeating over and over again, and repeat it correctly. Don't do it in the wrong way, because that's going to get embedded in your system and you're going to keep playing it wrong. So obviously you guys are smart enough to know that, but yeah, don't do things that are wrong. Do things the correct way and keep playing bits and pieces over and over again. And once you connect all of these bits and pieces into one solo, then take the entire solo and play it over and over again till you are seriously good at it, where you almost where it's almost like second nature. Like, even if you're playing and somebody calls you and talks to you, you are still able to play that solo and talk to that person. So that's the kind of independence that you need to be able to develop if you really want to be able to play things and have fun at the same time, and not be constantly focused, oh my god, what if I just missed a note now. So yeah, to be able to reach that, all it requires is repetition, and I think I've repeated myself a million times already about repetition. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to sign off. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and do share it with people who are confused and don't know how to really practice. Hopefully this video will help them out, and I shall sign off now, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Till then, bye bye.